it's Reagan Tunstall from Tunstall's Teaching Tidbits. Today, we're going to be looking at science and social studies themes, how we integrate that with writing, and how we put it all into really cute keepsake booklets for students and parents to enjoy for years. So I'm going to show you a ton of ideas, and we're even going to look at how we go from the printing out the unit to creating the actual keepsake. Lots of tips and tricks for how to get these done because they do have some moving parts. So to start, I'm going to actually just show you a lot of ideas of booklets that we create through the year, and then we will actually get into this one in particular, Me on the Map, since it's one of those citizenship and beginning of the year themes. So I like to begin the very first week of school, actually on day one, and I do watermelon science. Now, it seems odd because it is more of a summary type theme, but I bring a giant watermelon to school, place it in the middle of the classroom, and we have all sorts of scientific discussions about the watermelon, to be really honest. So we're gonna do things like hypothesize, test, experiment. We're going through the scientific process together and using, the watermelon to help us do that. And so that is our very first one that we do. Another thing is that each of these booklets has 10 or more activities. Sometimes I do all of them, sometimes I do 5 of them. You don't have to do everything in the booklet to do it right. I also do not do this in one sitting. There's no way. I will show you what I prep, and then I will show you what students do. But typically I will spend roughly 30 minutes a day doing one part of the booklet, and it may take us a week, may take us 2 weeks to complete an entire booklet. So before I get into making the booklet, I'm just gonna run through a whole bunch of ideas. I have 36 of these, plus more, but I don't know if I have 36 right here to show you or less, but let's get started. So moving into October, we do a pumpkin version. So they're familiar with the watermelon version. It just becomes easier each time. We're doing math, we're doing science, we're also writing, and we're using our senses to write. We're learning about writing down facts. So it really incorporates, it's cross-curricular, so I can get tons done within that same day. Whoops. These have traveled, this is supposed to have an S, with me and been around for, some of them for 4 years. So they may have missing pieces and parts. These are my teacher examples that I have to help make teaching it easier. Some of them need some love, like some glue. These are obviously all October themes. And again, some years I choose to do some, other years I may choose to do others, and sometimes I really can get it all done. But they all have that same format where there are the flaps that fold in and out, and they all come from just 2 pieces of the 12 by 18 construction paper. So I'm gonna show you that. Hang in there. Okay, now we're in November. Lord, this guy's huge. You certainly don't have to make it this big because it's more of a personal preference, but all of the templates are always included, so you can make it exactly how it appears. And again, doing as much or as little as you want. This one is teaching about magnets. It's teaching about the way things move. So all of your standards on force and motion, push, pull, zigzag, and then of course, magnet science. And this one is like a trifold. So we have all sorts of experiments that we do. And this is actually a bar magnet. You see the north and the south. A very popular one is, of course, the holidays around the world, which is gonna cover, I believe, over 20 different countries. They have a passport, which each country can add to that. It becomes a bigger document. It has their little picture on it, airline ticket, and a travel map, which they color where we travel. And then for each country, there is a brochure that they are making that's going to cover a lot of key vocabulary and things like that. So that is in December, holidays around the world. Another December theme that's tons of fun, and this one's a little more artsy, is the Gingerbread Science. Now this one is a blast because you're doing experiments with the gingerbread cookie, but you're also, of course, integrating that into your reading and writing as well. So it's, I mean, these truly are taking science and social studies themes and incorporating writing and then making something that the kids love to do. Another fun one for December is either all about caribou or all about reindeer. It's the same book, you choose. If you have students who can't celebrate, you could certainly do the caribou version. Difference on the front just being the title and the nose. But then on the inside, this one's gonna focus on the word caribou. This one's gonna have reindeer. The activities are similar, but they are gonna cover those standards. There's always more you can put on the back, and I'm gonna show you how to make a cool pocket as well. Moving into January, we have weather. I put a red straw here. It has fallen out, but I grabbed red straws on Amazon for the mercury. And then this is gonna cover my weather standards and incorporate that writing. This one has seen some days. Another January theme and important resource that we cover is influential Americans, and so this one is all about Martin Luther King Jr. Sometimes I even have students put their own face and make it more like his jacket, folding that down and then having their face, their picture. So this one I like to do in January. Some other ones for January, Snowman Science. This one is great for your states of matter standards, and it's going to cover all of those states of matter standards as well as incorporating writing and science, going through the scientific process in all of these. Moving into a little more social studies, we have Arctic Animal. It's also science as well, and I incorporate this into my writing mini lessons too. We do research writing on one particular Arctic science animal, but this helps us learn about all of them. Another popular January theme, penguins. So penguin discoveries, and I'm just giving you a quick glimpse at what these books look like. For January, I like to do Nocturnal Animals. You can focus on Nocturnal Animals, making the owl. And, oh, oops, this is the one I needed. Here's the owl, which I actually glued all the activities into, but the Nocturnal Animals one has its own labels. The actual activities are the same, and they come together. So you're not buying two different things. You're buying one and you're getting both, because again, some people want to just focus on the owl and some people want to focus on Nocturnal Animals. I also want to say with all of these, I choose read alouds to enhance them. So we do that 30-minute activity, but I'm starting with a read aloud and then we move into the one activity. Depends. I mean, if it's something like owls. Another popular one is United States symbols. I like to incorporate this with Veterans Day or with Memorial Day, or it just depends where I'm at, when I'm in school. Or what am I trying to think of that I'm forgetting? I don't know. When we study American symbols, when we study, oh, voting, November. So you can also do this in November as well. This is February, sorry to jump around. I've got George and Abe, and they come together in one, and I let students choose just doing one of them, and then they have, or maybe it is, no, it's one. So each booklet's going to have its own activities for that particular president, but I don't have them do both. I just feel like let's focus on one. By then, by February, they are so good at these that they can do a lot of it independently. So another theme for February is dental health. We've got all the things about teeth. And not only that, but of course integrating writing. And this one has so many. I had to go onto the back. I didn't even put the writing paper on it. I tucked it inside the pocket, which I will show you how to make a pocket. There's always different versions of writing paper because I know everybody has a different type of writing line that they want. So I have to do that for you. In March, if you are a Texas teacher, we've got our Lone Star State. These are our Texas history activities that we are going to do, and that is going to fit into the Texas flag. Another spring theme, and poor guy has lost his legs. He should have 6 legs, but all about insects. So this is learning all about insects, what their characteristics are, their traits, their adaptations. And then also along those lines, where did I put it? Here, is going into butterfly science. So if you are one that likes to have the butterflies in your room and go from caterpillar to butterfly, then this is going to be something that is going to come in really handy. But again, you don't have to use that if you're not doing that. Or you could just read it in a book and write each day what's happening. So that's another modification that you could use for this. Okay, another spring theme. We have all about amphibians. So this is going to be getting into the science for spring. All those fun things that you can do, tons. Packed it on the back as well. Plant science. This one, if you plant seeds, this is great, but if you don't, you can use read-alouds and videos and do the same types of investigating that way. And if you do plant seeds, this is going to be that little journal. They draw what's happening and they write a sentence about that, and then of course a culminating writing. So the writing does continue to get longer each day. There's more on the back as well. Living versus non-living. This is one of my favorites. We do experiments in here like comparing gummy bears to a real bear or gummy worms to real worms, and I do go to Walmart and buy a little thing of real worms. Oops, this came out of the pocket. More activities in the pocket and on the back. Earth Day. The Earth Day one, I like to put it on a paper sack and we work our way through. So we're recycling. They bring a bag from home, or I always go and ask for extras from the store, or actually I have extras at home. So using them that way, and we've just put the Earth Day activities on a brown paper bag. Another for spring, or whenever you teach it, zoo animals. So all about zoo animals, and we do a zoo animal report as well. More on the back is for that. Ocean, poor baby, this thing is getting worked. I think we're missing a flipper or two, but of course it's Nemo. Oh my gosh, they love it. So again, you don't have to do all of these. That would be a lot. However, I always have one going all year long. So it's something easy that I can turn to, and we're just always working on one of these. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. I know it looks complex, but I promise they get so good at it. And it does follow a pattern, so they know the activity. It just changes the theme. And obviously your videos and your read-alouds that you're doing. This one is the farm. And it's got lots about life cycles and then the different animals, integrating animal reports if you want to. And I'm going to wrap it up with inventors. So this one is really great for more social studies theme, and they can come up with their own invention using a template. One that I still have more, but and I can't possibly show you all of them. I mean, I could, but this video would be too long. But one that I came out with more recently is covering heat, light, and sound standards. So these are sold as their own little bundle, whereas all of the other ones you can buy individually, these two, or you can buy those in bigger bundles. All right, so let's do some tips and tricks on making them and managing it in the classroom. So we're gonna go back to Me on the Map. I printed out, we're gonna make this one. I printed out the unit and just paper clipped it. And this is what I do to prep for my students. So whatever color the booklet is, this one is red. And also you can go crazy, do it all you want. I wanna show you that in each unit, there's tons of pictures so you know what you're making, and there's step-by-step directions like this so that you're not having to find this video and try to remember. Okay, you take 2 pieces of your 12 by 18 construction paper, stack them on top of each other, okay? Now normally I'm gonna lay this down on the desk and do it, but I'm holding it in the air because this will be fun. And you're going to take those pages and just fold them in to make the 2 flaps. I just eyeball it, I don't measure. Your papers will fit, it's okay. So crease each one, okay? So that's basically the book. Now you open it back up, take the top one off, and you take your Elmer's glue. I am so sorry, I don't have Elmer's glue, but I have a glue stick. You take your white Elmer's glue and I go down the crease, across the bottom, not at the very, very bottom, but pretty much. And then I go up the other crease. So you're making a U. Okay, so imagine this is white Elmer's glue. Down the crease, across and up, and just a really thin, skinny line of glue. Then you place this paper right back on top and you fold, smush it in, and then set it to the side and do the next one. So I can do a whole class set of these in 5 minutes. I just gave the paper, the glue, and a surface. That's it. The students will put each activity in the book as we do it, but we do not make the cover or add the embellishments on the front until the booklet is complete. That is our culminating activity. It's our reward. The reason I do that, because I used to not, is because they get wrecked coming in and out of the desk if you try to put the stuff on the front. So nothing is on the front at all until the very last day. Then I take it and I stack them and I store them, because I actually hoard all of these, and then we bring the parents in and we have an author celebration. So their writing portfolio, as well as all of these are stacked up on their desk, and it just looks so amazing, and the parents love looking through them. Okay, so I've got this is what I'm handing the students. It's like, here's your booklet, okay? Now let's look at our packet. So this is for Me on the Map, and I'm sure you're familiar with these standards. But what we're going to do, this is the step-by-step. Let me just get to a page. All right, so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna open up Addison. This is Addison. I'm gonna open up her book, and obviously this is like my teacher sample, but I put Addison's cute face on there. First thing we start with is a good citizen contract. So we will read a book or watch a video or both, and then we'll talk about our classroom citizenship and then our citizenship in our country, and then we'll sign our good citizen contract. Then I have a girl and a boy template for being a good citizen, and they're gonna write some personal thoughts under the flap about that. I have an activity for responsible citizen and irresponsible citizen. And again, each one of these is on a different day, roughly 30 minutes. Types of communities, urban, suburban, rural, and then the description underneath. You can have them write it or you can have them glue it. We also have the Me on the Map Classic, where they go from themselves, their street, their city, their state, their country, their continent, and again, they're coloring where they are on these little visuals. It's hard to see, sorry. And then the planet, I give them a yellow star and they put it on the planet where they are, and then they write where they are. I am a good citizen, they tell how they are a good citizen. This is labeling a map, so map skills. Good citizens are helpful, clean, safe, workers. Oh, I'm sorry. Under these flaps, they write about these different topics about being a good citizen. And then on the back, we have Me on the Map, ways I am a good citizen in my house, in my school, in my community, in my world. So another thing I want to point out is that you actually don't have to make the foldable book if you don't want to. You can put all of these activities in a science journal. They fit really nicely into a science journal because they are made to be skinny or short, so they can be placed in, I like to use just a composition book. So if you want to cover some of these, but you're like, shoot, I don't think I'm gonna make the whole book, you can totally do it in your own little science journal. Well, I hope this was helpful today and that you saw something you might want to try, even if you just do one, and see how you like it, how your students respond, and then go from there. So I will link where you can find these for you in the description, and I will also link my favorite science journal activities. I will also link a couple of blog posts that I've done on these, especially at the beginning of the year, to help get you started. Okay? Have a great day.